So, I showed you this little speed controller for the DC motor for the wipers. That didn't work. So, I finally got all the brackets done, everything mounted up, and I was bench testing with this control module, and it seemed to work great. As you dialed it down, it picked the speed up. As you dialed it up, it picked the speed up. Dial it down, turn the speed down, and it seemed to be working fine. So I wired everything into the car, and it didn't work. With it on off, it was on high speed, and as I would turn it down, the speed would slowly, or as I would turn the speed up, which it should have been, it would slowly start to slow down the speed of the wipers until the fuse would pop. So I started tracing everything, like, oh, I must have this wrong, I have something wired wrong. So I started tracing wires, and basically using all the harness that I built to try to test for a short or something like that. And as I was bench testing it, everything worked. But as soon as I plugged it all into the car, it stopped working. And that's when I realized that motor grounds itself to the body of the motor. And yeah, it was self-grounding to the chassis, so I couldn't control the speed with the power ground inputs to the actual motor because it had ground to the chassis also. So that didn't work. And the more I tried to fuck with it, I ended up actually breaking the pulse width control module, or the DC motor speed controller. So that didn't work at all. As you can see, the way I have all the linkage and everything set up, it actually works really, really well now. Just a connector right there into the bulkhead. Then I ran the powers and grounds and everything to the fuse block and the relay box inside the car, and the dash just fell out. Probably should have bolted that back on. It just fell out. I'll show you where the wires come through. So, I don't know if you can see it or not. It comes through on the bulkhead back there, and then there's the two wires, the input and output wires for the motor. And then over in the corner down there's the fuse box and the relay box and all that stuff. So basically what I ended up doing is just wiring it up for single speed. I was able to mess with the linkage and everything on it, so I kind of changed the lengths of the pickups on the arms. Here where I actually cut this one and changed the overall length of this. I also put a bend in here and shorten this rod up a bit too. And by changing all that stuff around, I was actually able to change the ratio of how far the arms would swing and the amount of time it would take for them to swing at the consistent motor speed. And I think we're actually finally at a really good speed. Before it would rip itself apart, but I think now we're good. So if I come in here, I just added a little rocker switch to it. And that should work pretty good. Got a good clearance on everything for the hood there. Nothing really moves around. It's all really tight and sturdy. We got a good clean sweep across the entire windshield for the most part. I could move it over that way a little bit more if I need to. It'll obviously stop it a little bit shorter over here, but that's not that big of a deal. So I might change that a bit. But it's got a really nice full sweep of almost the entire windshield. I might actually lengthen the arm if I need to bring it up a little bit higher, but I really don't think I will have to do that. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one. I just wanted to show you guys the little single wiper conversion I did on my Mustang. You know, it's not really anything super crazy like building angle kits or turbo kits or something like that, but you know, to do something like that right, custom fabbed, you know, it took some time, and I probably have, you know, a couple days into actually doing that, you know, just on and off, taking little breaks here, thinking stuff through, figuring out how to control the wiper speed without actually having a pulse width modulator on it, because that stuff's usually controlled through the BCM, and I'm not using factory plugs or anything like that on it. I had to go right to the electric motor in it, so you know, just little things I had to figure out, but it's one of those things that we needed on the car, and now it's done. So that's going to be it for this one. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel and follow the build along, and I will catch you guys later.